Hello, good afternoon everybody. How are you all? Back after a nice lunch? I hope you all don't go to sleep because today what I'm going to talk about or speak about is a very important topic and all of you should listen to this because this is what some of us are missing in life. Shall we go to the PPT please? Yes. So this is what we all have to set goals for, right? All of us need goals in life, right? So today we'll talk about goal setting, about setting goals for your college and beyond. You all come into that age where you finish schooling, you finish your intermediate, and now you're all into college, right? So in college, you cannot till now your parents were setting goals for you. Like your parents said, finish 10th, you have to get good marks in 10th, this is what you have to do, then you will succeed in life. So your parents set your goals and then you try to finish it with good marks. Then, even then after that also, what do you want to do? Most of the students are, I don't know ma'am, I don't know uncle, or auntie. Your parents were deciding things for you. They were setting goals. Oh, we are joining him in intermediate to go for MSET or go for degree. So these were the goals. Now is the time for all of you to set goals. I'm K. Shailaja Rao, soft skill trainer at Aditya Business School, and all of you know me, right? So I hope you did your test very well yesterday. So today, let's look at goal setting. So what is a goal? Okay, what is a goal? Goal, if you say football, that's a football goal where there are two poles and a net and you hit the ball through it and then you score a goal. So that's a goal in the game. And we are talking about goals like that, scoring it, hitting the ball into the net. But how do you score goals in life? How do you set goals in life? That is what we are talking about. So goals are something, a dream to become better, a compass on the high seas. What is a goal? A goal is a dream to make you better. Suppose you could have a simple goal like, I want to go to Hyderabad next month. That is your goal. So, I'll give you an even simpler goal. I want to see the next movie, that's Pawan Kalyan's movie, on the first day, first show. Most of you have this goal, right? What's your goal? I want to see Pawan Kalyan's movie or your favorite actor's movie, first day, first show. So what do you do for that? First, you'll be checking when that movie is releasing, whether it's releasing on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then you'll check whether it's a working day. Do you have to attend classes when there were classes? Online classes, do we still have to attend online classes? And then you will check where is it releasing, right? Where is it releasing? Then you will find who are the other friends who will go with me to see this movie. You can't go all alone, right? No fun in watching movies all alone. So then you'll find a person or 2 or 3 people to go with you. And then you will decide where to get the tickets, online tickets, offline tickets. You'll decide all this. And then as the goal gets closer and closer, the release date gets closer, what do? Oh, what should I wear for? Which show should I go? Generally these movies when they're releasing at absurd timings. You have morning 7 o'clock show also. We never heard of these 7 o'clock morning shows in our time. So today you have from 7 to 10, then 10 to 12, they're just making money. So you'll wonder which show to go to, and then you'll book for that show, and then what to wear for this. So what are you doing actually? You have this goal to see that movie, and you're breaking it into bits and, finalizing one after the other after the other. So this is exactly what is a goal. Setting a goal and a compass on the high seas. That is, when you're in the high sea, if you don't have a compass, where will the ship go? If it doesn't know where it has to reach, it's like this. If you're in a bus station or a train station, this is a bus station. If you go to a bus station and you don't know where to go, which bus will you get into? Can you get into any bus? Right? So if you are just like that, you are studying, but you don't know where you want to go. Will you achieve anything? Will you go anywhere? If you come to the bus station, okay, I'm going to the bus station, but I actually don't know where I want to go. Can you get into any bus? No. So what will you do? You'll quietly come back home, right? So that is what is happening with most young people nowadays. They are goalless. That is, they do not know how to set goals, or they do not even think about setting a goal. Because setting a goal is very, very important for a student. Not only a student, even after you finish your education, when you go into a career also, setting a goal is important. Just check if the volume is okay. Yeah. Setting a goal is important, because without a goal, you will be like a rudderless ship, or a ship without a compass. You won't know which east, west, north, south, where should the ship move? Which direction should it go? So it's like having a travel plan. I gave you a movie plan. A goal is like a travel plan. First, you have a starting point and you have a destination, right? For every travel plan, you should have a starting point. I'm going to start from Kakinada or Rajahmundry. I want to reach Delhi. So how do I got there? When is the scheduled departure? When does that train or bus leave or flight leave? When is it supposed to land there? After that, what is the distance that I have to travel? Which class will I travel in? If you're traveling by train, will I go by second class, third class, AC first class, depending on the budget I have? Okay, what is the fare? How much is it going to cost me? So goal should have all these questions. Only then it's a proper goal. So a simple goal could be something like, here it says civil engineering, but I would say in any paper, test paper, to score 85% marks in my first mid-exam at the university, not mid-exam, at the university level is my goal. To score 85% in my graduation. First semester exam, graduation exam, I have to score 85% marks in my university exam. That could be your goal. You can make that your goal now. That could be your goal. Then, setting a goal is very easy. Then how do you go about achieving it? Let's see. Oops, sorry. So, generally, we think dreams and then goals are the same. No. You know, I want to have a beautiful, when you're going a hill station or you're passing some big mansion, I wish I had a house like this, or I wish I had a big Mercedes Benz. These are all dreams, right? Will that happen? May not happen. But if I say goals, goal is something that dream is something that you wish would happen. But goals are something that you make them happen. Okay, dreams are just wishful thinking. I wish I had a house like that. That's a dream. But goal is, I want to have a house like that. That's a goal. Then you will start working towards it. You'll start studying well, then you'll try to get a good job and probably study more and get a better job so that you can really build a house like that. So that's a goal. Just wishing for something is a dream. All of us are dreamers and mostly daydreamers. Hey, I'm going to one day get that car. How will you get that car unless you do something now? Not possible, right? So goals are roadmaps to make it happen. How? We'll see. A dream is just a dream. A goal is a dream with a plan and a deadline. That's the difference. A dream is just a dream. I wish I could go to Switzerland. That's a dream. It'll remain a dream. But if you work hard and you could set a goal or a plan to maybe go to Switzerland, maybe to study, maybe to do well in your graduation, go to a higher education, go to IIMs, take the CAT examination, go to IIM, get a good job, and then try to plan and go and work in Switzerland or go for a holiday in Switzerland when you have the money. That's a goal. That's a plan with a deadline. I want to see Switzerland before I'm 45. That's a plan. Before I'm 30. That's a plan. That's a goal. I wish I could see Switzerland. That's just a dream. So goals. In order for something to be a goal, there are some things that are necessary. What is that? It has to be important to you personally. Goals, if somebody sets, that's why, most goals you don't achieve, because most goals are set by till now, especially for Indian kids, goals are set by our parents. Hey, you should university first rank Ravali. You should get first rank. That's a goal set by your parent. You are not into it. Personally, you didn't say that. My mother keeps on saying something. How will I get this? So that's good. That cannot be your goal. Goal has to be personal. It should come from within you. Next, you should have the power and the actions to make it happen. Okay? You should be in a position to get that university rank. Then it is your goal. Must have reasonable chance of achieving. Okay, if you are a candidate who is scoring like 80% marks or 85% marks and say you have to get university first, there is a chance of getting from 85 to 100% or university first. But suppose you are just a 45% student. Is there a chance of getting university first? Your goal should be achievable. Your next goal should be getting 60%. Next should be getting 70, next 80, then university first. Not from 45 to university first. You can't do that, right? So, goals should be achievable and must be clear to you, and you should have a specific plan of action. Some of us have goals, but we really don't know how we can make that happen. Very difficult. We really don't know how to make it happen. Before we go to the next slide, I want to show a small video on how we can make goals happen. See this and then I'll continue.
For stopping by, this is 2-Minute Classroom, and today we're talking about setting goals using the SMART method. Goal setting is a great activity anytime, but it's especially popular around New Year's, at the start of the school year, and beginning of sports season. I would love to hear some of your goals in the comments, and I'll put some of mine in the description below. SMART is an acronym that stands for Specific, Measurable, Achievable, Relevant, and Time-bound. We'll go through each of these using the example goal of doing well on your next exam, a common goal for students. The first step is to make the goal specific. Doing well on your next exam is not specific. Try to answer the questions of what, when, and why. Let's specify your what as scoring at least 90% on your next science exam. For the when, it will be whenever the exam is. Let's say it's in 4 weeks. The why is very important, as this is your motivation for the goal and something you can look back on if you get discouraged. It could be to improve your grade in the course, to score higher than a friend, or because you want to get into a great university. Whatever will motivate you to keep working on the goal. So now, a much more specific goal. Score at least 90% on the next science exam 4 weeks from now and help you get into a great university. This goal is looking great, but we're not done yet. The next step is to make sure the goal is measurable. That means there are some metrics attached to the goal to let you know if you reach your goal or not. Looking back at our goal, we see that it is to score at least 90%. This is very measurable, and once you've taken the test and received a score, you will know whether or not you hit the goal. This is why doing well on your next exam is a poor goal. It is not measurable, and there is no clear way to define success or failure. The next step is to check whether the goal is achievable or not. In this step, you want to break the goal down and answer the question of how you will achieve this goal. What do you need to do in the next 4 weeks to get at least 90% on the exam? Some examples may include taking notes in class, spending 30 minutes 3 nights per week studying for the exam, and partnering with a friend a week before the exam to review notes and go through a study guide. The point is, you need a plan. Break the goal down into smaller goals that all feed up to the main goal. This will give you a clear path to success. The fourth step is to ensure the goal is relevant. And this step is more of a gut check to see if it fits well with your life right now. Ask yourself the following questions. Does this goal align with my long-term objectives? Does it keep me on track with other goals in my life? Will focusing on this goal pull me away from other more important goals? After thinking through this step, you should feel confident your goal is relevant and even more motivated to achieve it. Scoring at least 90% on your next science exam is relevant because it will give you confidence in school and feed into larger goals around future education and career. The last step is to make the goal time-bound. A time-bound deadline acts as a target and helps you work backwards and set smaller steps to get there. If you set a fitness goal to do 100 consecutive push-ups, but don't set a deadline to reach that goal, then it probably won't happen. Hitting a certain score on an exam is time-bound by default because there is a specific date for the exam, which allows us to break the goal into smaller steps leading up to the exam. And here's a bonus tip. If you truly want to reach your goals, then you have to write them down and look at them often. I recommend keeping a daily or weekly planner to track your progress. I put some excellent planner recommendations in the description that will help you make your goals a reality. Remember to share your goals in the comments. I'll read and respond to as many of them as I can. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.
That was good, wasn't it? It told us how to set our goals. So goals should not be like dreams, they should be SMART goals. So what are the SMART? One second. So goals are dreams with deadlines. So this is a better one. So dreams are dreams without any deadlines, but goals are dreams with deadline. And that's why Abdul Kalam said, dream big, dream high, dream with your eyes open. A dream should be such, like a goal. A dream, when he said dream, he didn't say sleep and dream. He said set a goal, and that dream should be like the goal, which doesn't let you sleep. That should be how your goal should be. So what are the types of goals? Let's look at some types of goals, because when we say goals, is getting 90% goal is, I can't even think about 90%. That is too far off. University exam is after 6 months. Can I have a smaller goal? Yes, you can. Let's see how we can have small-term goals or short-term goals and long-term goals. So short-term goals are getting tutoring in maths this quarter, or sometimes get that to that 90% in a university exam. Suppose you're thinking of physics, if you're in science graduate, or accountancy or management or anything, getting that 90% may be tough, because if you have one subject which you're poor in, which you're not very good at. So what should your next goal be? A short-term goal to reach that 90% goal should be, I should get tuition in this subject. That should be a goal. I should learn this subject from someone, either self-study or get a teacher or get a friend to help you. So that could be your short-term goal. Similarly, peer tutoring, that is, taking help from friends is also very helpful. Sometimes it's very difficult to learn from somebody like elders, but it's very easy when your friend teaches you, because you're at the same level, and then it's very easy. That's why most students do this combined studies or some things like that. They sit somewhere and discuss, and then they study. That helps them a lot if you're not chit-chatting and wasting your time. So spend a minimum of 1 hour every night on homework and studying. Short-term goal. Getting 90% is a long-term goal, but your immediate goal could be, short-term goal could be, from today onwards, on one subject that is tough, I will spend 1 hour, and on 2 other subjects, I'll spend 1 hour. So 2 hours of study I'll do every day from today. That could be your short-term goal. And then write it down somewhere. To think about it is okay, but then if you write it and also tell somebody about your goal, it could be your friend or your parent, or if you're not doing it, they will remind you, you said you will study for 2 hours from today, what happened? Why didn't you start? Even your friend will probably say, hey, you were supposed to study, right? Then when somebody keeps on reminding you, it becomes sort of, you are forced to do it, because starting is very difficult. Setting goals, all of us have goals. New Year comes, we all have New Year resolutions. I'm going to get up early in the morning at 5 or something, go jogging or do yoga, and then after I come back, I'm not going to eat this, or I'm going to study for 1 hour, or I'm not going to watch television. All these resolutions will be there. What happens? First comes, first year of the day, first day of the year, lovely programs will be there. Today I'll watch, from tomorrow I'll give up. So that's what happens when you make big resolutions without any proper planning. What are long-term goals? So explore careers I'm interested in, graduate from high school with good marks, go to college or get a job. Now your career goal could be, long-term goal could be, I want to get a job in an MNC. I want to get a job with a 50,000 salary after I finish my degree. I want to finish my degree and do MBA in IIM, or I want to do this. Those could be your long-term goals. Okay, you can have a long-term goal, but to achieve them, you have to cut it into small-term goals. Let's see how we can do that. Like he said, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic or relevant, doesn't matter, are relevant and realistic, similar and time-bound. So every goal should be SMART, okay? And they have ER also, experience it and review. That is smarter goals. Review, that is are you achieving your goal? If you're not achieving, then change the setting again. So how to set SMART goal? Like he said, you just saw the video, SMART goal. For every goal, you have to think, is it SMART? Is it S? Is it specific? Like I say, I want to lose weight, okay, say 10 kilos of weight. If I have a goal, okay, I want to become slim, I want to lose 10 kilos of weight. So what do? I have to go to the gym, I have to jog, or I have to diet, but I didn't set any deadline. Will I ever start dieting or going to the gym? No, right? So unless, I have to think about what, why, how. So for example, I will exercise more. Okay, or 10 kilos of weight, even that is more specific. At least I will exercise more. Is this specific? No, right? But specific is, I will walk for 30 minutes every day. That is a specific. If I say I want to lose weight, I can lose half a kilo and say I've achieved my goal. So a goal has to be specific. Even if I say 10 kilos of weight, even then it's not so specific because I have not said till when and how. So a goal has to be specific. It should answer what, why and how. Whenever you set a goal, ask yourself, what am I going to do? How am I going to do? And when or why am I doing this? Okay? So goal setting, the power of focus. When you say specific goal, it reminded me of this story of the Arjuna and this thing. This is actually not a fish, bird. When Rama was teaching, or when Rama and the three brothers were learning from the Guru, what he used to ask them, bow and arrow, they used to ask them to shoot. So, and each of the brothers were taught to shoot the birds in the tree. And when it was Rama's turn, he said he was aiming, and he said, what are you aiming at? He said, I'm only aiming at the eye of the bird. So he's not looking at the whole bird, but just the eye of the bird. And by aiming at just that small point, and he's so focused that he surely got it. Similarly, we have another story in the Mahabharata where the Pandava brothers, Arjuna, for Draupadi Swayamvar, Draupadi's father sets a task for the Swayamvar that whoever wants to win his daughter in marriage should shoot a fish which is, tied up somewhere, kept somewhere, by not looking at the fish but looking at the fish in the water. They have to aim up but watch the fish in the water and aim. So he wanted somebody so capable, warrior for his daughter. And Arjuna, when he came to shoot, he did that, and he, without missing a beat, he shot the fish. How? He said, I was not looking at the whole fish, but I was aiming only for the eye of the fish. By looking in the water, he aimed only for the eye of the fish. He was so focused that he got it in the first shot. And what happened after that is a different story, but this is the power of focus. If you focus, there's a saying also, you know, have you ever tried, can the sun burn, and you put a newspaper on the floor, and in the hot sun, can the sun burn it? Newspaper, try putting a piece of newspaper, small piece of paper in the sun, leave it out when it is like 40 degrees, 50 degrees, leave it out and see if it can burn it. No. But now take a concave lens and aim the sun's ray through the lens onto the piece of paper. Then what happens? The paper burns. Why? The intensity, the focus of the rays are all to one point. When all the rays focus to one point, the paper burns. That is the power of focus. So when you focus, you can achieve anything, any goal. Next, in SMART goals, S, always remember SMART. S was specific, focus, and a specific date, a specific deadline, a specific number. I want to do 100 push-ups. If you have, without a deadline, if you have it, will you ever start? After 10, you'll feel lazy and you'll give it up. So measurable. It should be how much, how many. Can you measure it? Measure it. Like, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. Unless you say, I want to, like, you know, I want to reduce weight. How much? Half kg also, I'm happy. I mean, you will say you are happy. So you should have a goal like, I want to reduce 5 kilos of weight, 10 kilos of weight. Or you could say, I want to study well. Is that a goal? No. I would say, if you can't measure it, it's not a goal, good enough goal. Because you want to study well could be a goal, but it's not a SMART goal because you do not know how well you want to study. If you're getting 60% now, if you say, I want to get 75% in my next exam, that's a goal. That's a measurable goal. If you go beyond 60 to 65 or 70, you know that you're nearing your goal. You've not achieved your goal. If you go beyond 75, that means you've really done your job well. That means you've taken your goal seriously. So always it should, how much do I have to do? For getting 75%, if for getting 60%, actually without studying I got 60. If I study, I'll easily get 75. But how much do you study? Study for 1 hour extra, 2 hours extra every day, maybe thrice a week. Surely you will get that 75. But you should know how much. Attainable, it should be within your reach. Don't think, I'm going degree, in 3 years I want to be CEO of a company. I want to set up a business and earn millions or crores of rupees. These are not attainable goals, right? So always plan for attainable goals. You will look like a joker if you say things like that, right? People will laugh at you because they know that these goals are not attainable. So what are attainable goals that will make you slightly uncomfortable, but you need commitment for that. So there will always have bigger goals where there's a challenge. If you say you're getting 60% in exams and you say I want to get 65% marks, will that really move you? Will you really work hard for that? No. You should put yourself in such a position where you have to work a little harder. 75, 80, 85 is probably a challenge which will make you uncomfortable. So, but if you say I want to get 100%, is that possible? Unattainable. So you will give it up before you even start. So winners see objectives, losers see obstacles. Generally, this is what happens. Whenever we give some assignments to students, why didn't you complete it? Madam, yesterday, there will be about 15, 20 students who have completed, and they will show and get it corrected and signed and everything done. Then the next batch will come. Where is your work? Madam, yesterday, we have 2 tests today, madam, so I could not do. Then how did the other person do it? He also had 2 tests. He's sitting with you in the same class. So how was he able to complete it? It's just the difference between winners and losers. Winners will see objectives, what is the goal? But losers will see obstacles, what are the excuses? So don't be a loser, don't find excuses, be a winner. And then realistic. They should be realistic and relevant. They should not be doable. They should be doable, not too easy or too difficult. Like, I will not watch television. For example, like I told you earlier also, New Year resolution. You fail in some exam, you'll tell your mother, from tomorrow, Amma, I'm not going to watch television at all. Is that doable? Is that realistic? No, right? If somebody else is watching, you'll go and sit. I didn't put it on. Somebody was watching, so I sat. So is that not watching television? So have realistic goals, like I will not watch, or I will watch television for only an hour a day. Or I will study for 2 hours and then watch television. That is more realistic. So set realistic goals. Or I will not watch television until my homework is done. This is more realistic. And goal setting pitfalls. Why do you set goals and then you don't see them through? Why does this happen? Because of some major mistakes that you make while setting goals. Let's look what they are. First is unrealistic goals, too big. Like, I'll not watch television. Or from today, if you fail or if you get less marks, you'll say, from today I'm not going out at all. Is that possible? No. In the next days, you might not go out. Third day, something will come, you will have to go out. So that was an unrealistic goal. So set a goal which is, I will not go out with friends unless I finish my work at home first. So that could be a proper realistic goal. Then timely. Of all the things, this is very important. Whenever you set a goal, set a time. Because even for an exam, you don't have 30 questions or 50 questions, and if you know the answers, take as much time as you want. No, right? Because the goal of the examiner is to see whether you know the subject within that period of time, whether you can answer it. Probably if I give you a test, everybody in the class can answer if I give them 3-4 hours to answer. But the point here is how many can answer correctly within that time period. So time is very important here. When you set a goal, there should be a time frame. I should get 90% marks in my next test, which is in 3 months or 4 months or 4 weeks. Or I should lose 5 kgs of weight within a month. So there has to be a deadline. Only if there is a deadline, you will know how far you have come. Suppose it is, I've decided I want to lose 5 kgs a month within, 5 kgs within the next month. But it's 3 weeks and I've lost only 2 kgs. Is it possible for me to lose 1 kg in the, 3 kgs in the last week? No, right? So I will realize that I have not probably done my work properly, I have not gone through a proper diet, or I did not exercise probably. So next time I set a goal, either I will reduce that deadline or increase that deadline, or I will work harder to achieve that deadline. So you know whether you succeeded or failed only if you have a time bound goal, realistic or timely goal. And celebrate your success. So generally what we do is, if we think that 85% marks I have to get in my next test, and you did score 85 or 86, feel happy about it. Don't say, oh yeah, I scored it, I'm going to set 90% next. Okay, set it at 90%, but then you achieve your goal. So make yourself feel good. Go out, celebrate, distribute some chocolates or eat some chocolates yourself. So celebrate whatever little success you have achieved, you know, in your goal setting, and then you've achieved that goal. So celebrate your success. When you celebrate, your mood is elevated, and then you feel like achieving a higher goal. That's why, you know, whenever in a cricket match, whenever a goal is scored, the batsman or the bowler says this. Why do they do that? They're celebrating that catch that they've done. And every time they hit a ace, that in tennis, what do? The player does this, or he jumps up with joy. What is he trying to do? He's celebrating that, that shot that he just hit. So he's enjoying it. When you enjoy it, he'll do it better next time. Some more goals, ideas. Important thing is, this is a very important idea. Get your goals on paper. Write your goals on paper. Sometimes we make goals, but they are just in our heads, and we are very safe and happy because nobody knows that I made this goal. And nobody is going to blame me if I don't complete it. And me, I'll excuse myself. I'll have 100 excuses to give why I could not lose. Oh, too many functions in this month, so I had to go and eat. Nobody put a gun to my head to eat that food, right? So, all excuses. So, write down your goals. Tell your friends, tell your parents, that this is my goal. So, if you're trying to go away from that or stray from that, they will caution you. They'll say, hey, you said you want to lose weight, why are you eating those sweets? Or you said you wanted to watch only 1 hour of television, this is already the second hour. So they will remind you, probably, you know, we're all human, right? We'll all make mistakes, we will err. So there has to be somebody who can correct us. So write it down on paper, or at least for ourselves. There should be something to remind us every day that this is my goal. So write it down somewhere, and then tell your goals to others. Have a positive attitude and celebrate your success. If you don't reach a goal, don't think of yourself as a failure. Suppose I've said I want to reduce 5 kilos. Don't say I only reduced 2 kilos, I'm a failure. It's just that we didn't do something right in the beginning, in that 1 month. Probably next time, you know, you reduce 2 kilos, right? So next time you set a goal, you will take more care about it. And do not be afraid to make mistakes. Identify areas that need improvement, or use your imagination, visualize, think of yourself, if I lose 10 kgs, how will I look? If you're fat or something, oh, I look nice, you know, or if I get that 90%, how will my parents feel? Visualize achieving that goal. Surely you will get there. Goal setting. Too many goals. Sometimes, when today I told you set goals, then don't start writing achieving 90%, stop watching television, no WhatsApp, no phone. All these goals you start writing all at one. New Year, that's what we do. What do we do on New Year? Whole year we'll be doing everything. New Year will say, from now I'm not going to go on Instagram. No Facebook, no Instagram, no WhatsApp. I'm going to study for 2 hours, or I'm going to help my mother do something. So all goals we'll set at once. We don't know which to achieve. When you remove all Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube, everything, what happens? You will get bored. So immediately you will start everything again. So what you should do, you should stop one after the other. For this whole month, I'm going to delete all the groups and delete the WhatsApp app. So 1 month, stay without WhatsApp. See whether you can live without it. Of course you can live without it. You just feel that you cannot. So then that's one goal achieved. Next, go to the next step. So don't set too many goals at once, not possible. And then dream big, always. Abdul Kalam said, you know, try to reach for the stars, because if you try to reach for the stars, when you jump to catch the star or reach that star, you'll at least fall on the coconut tree. You would have at least reached the height of a coconut tree. So dream big. Don't say, I just want to, you know, get some job. Don't settle for less. Have a goal. I want to get a job that pays me at least 50. By the time 3 years you come out, 50,000 also probably will be less. So aim big. But then try to achieve that goal, whatever goal you set, try to work on it. So there was this Italian scientist Francesco Cirillo. He invented, or he founded, or he's famous for something called the Pomodoro technique. So what is this Pomodoro techniques? Actually, a Pomodoro is actually an Italian word for tomato. You all know tomatoes, right? So it's in Italian, a tomato is called a Pomodoro. So what is this Pomodoro technique? This actually helps us achieve our goals. How? I'll tell you. You know, whenever we say I want to achieve 90% marks and all that, what do we think? Oh, or remove the 90%. I have got exams next week. So I have 1 week to study. What do I think? Whole year or whole semester I wasted, and I think either 1 week I'm going to study the whole day 1 week. How many hours does a day have? 24 hours. So you're thinking that you'll have 7 into 24 hours. So you'll have about 140, 150 plus hours to study. In reality, do you have that many hours? Can you study that for that many hours? No, right? Because you have to eat, you have to sleep, you have to do so many other things. So remove 50% of those hours. So make it 12 hours. 12 hours in a day. 12 into 7, again say 80, 85, 90 hours. Okay? But do you really have those 90 hours or 70, 80 hours? Can you actually continuously study for those 12 hours in a day? Forget about 12 hours. Can you continuously study for 2 hours in a day without a break? Can you just sit with your book and concentrate? Study means not just having a book in front of you and looking here and there, the phone is ringing. You know, whenever, when my children were younger, whenever I asked them to start, whenever somebody came or, you know, phone was ringing, they would never pick up the phone. But the moment I said, go and study in your room, and they would study, the moment the phone rang, they would run to pick up the phone. Because other times they could not hear the phone. But only when they were studying, they could hear the phone very clearly. Because your focus is not on what you're studying, but on the phone. Whenever you're studying, you will listen to what is happening on the next room, television, or somebody has come at the front door. You will go and answer it. Otherwise, you'll never answer the front door. But if you're studying, you'll surely go and answer it, right? I'm sure a lot of you do this. It's just a distraction from what you're doing. So why I'm talking about all this is to study continuously focused for even 2 hours is very tough, and it's very difficult in this day and age. Even if you get a long WhatsApp message, do you read it all? No. After first few lines, if it's interesting, you'll read, otherwise you'll go to the next. Or simply you will forward it to some poor fellow who will also forward it to the next fellow. That is where we get all this rubbish long messages in WhatsApp. Because nobody is reading them, they're just forwarding it to the next and the next and the next person. So that's what is happening. Because our attention span has gone lower and lower and lower. We are not able to concentrate on anything for a long time. And especially your generation, children, impossible. So can you really study with concentration for 2 hours? No, right? Very difficult, very difficult. Try sitting down for 2 hours without moving, only studying, and see how much productive you can be, how much really you can really study and retain the information and, you know, your memory. Very difficult. So that's why he said he followed something like the Pomodoro technique. He said, if you want to study for 2 hours, don't study for 2 hours at length, continuously 2 hours. Focus on the 25 minutes. Study with 25 minutes with concentration, then take a 5-minute break. 5-minute break, not like, you know, watching WhatsApp or Facebook. No, that will again divert you. Get up, move around the room, or go to the washroom, or maybe eat something, and then when you eat something and go to the washroom, that 5 minutes over. But you have done some physical exercise after sitting down and studying. Then study for another 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break. Then 25 minutes, 5-minute break. Let it be 4 cycles of 25 minutes and 5-minute break. So that is 2 hours, right? After a continuous study of 2 hours, take a 10 to 15-minute break. See how much you can cover in these 25 minutes with 5-minute intervals. you can actually study a lot. If you sat with your book in front of you for 2 hours, probably you would not study as much. With research, he has found that this works a lot better than continuous study. So this is called the Pomodoro technique, which actually some of us do knowingly or unknowingly. We follow this, but if you know about it, do it this way. This is how you can achieve more or be more productive when you have these small little breaks. That's why even big players, whether it's a Sachin Tendulkar or a Virat Kohli or a Dhoni or Rahul, KL Rahul or any of these players, they don't play cricket all the time. You know, for practice, to play well, they play football. Some of them play golf. Some of them play badminton. Some of them, all of them go to the gym because they cannot concentrate on only one thing at a time or all the time. So they have to vary it. And after every exercise, they take a break. That's why they're so good at what they do. So all of you can follow this example, and I have a small video again, a TEDx talk by a student who will tell you how she followed this Pomodoro technique and succeeded. Okay, TEDx talks are talks given by people who've achieved something in life, people who've been successful, whether it's entrepreneurs or people who have overcome some difficulties. They are actually, TEDx is a voluntary organization. They organize talks. Bill Gates and Steve Jobs and big Shiv Nadar, all these people have given these talks. They are for 20 minutes. They're allowed to speak only for 20 minutes and they do not take any money for speaking. This is just to motivate people, to inspire people, to share their experiences so that we know how are successful people so successful. So let's look at one student who is giving a TEDx talk about how she set goals following the Pomodoro technique. That's why I explained the Pomodoro technique to you beforehand so that you can understand what she's saying much better.
When I first told my friends that I was doing a talk on a study method that I use, I could see the collective look of disgust that swept across their faces as they processed what I just told them. So bear with me, as I firmly believe that the Pomodoro method has the power to change your life. My typical cycle of studying used to start out determined. I would come home, sit down at my desk, and do a couple of worksheets. The only problem was that productiveness only lasted for an hour, as I would easily get distracted. I would usually spend a couple hours on my phone, and then I'd snap back into determination, but find myself getting burned out once again as the minutes ticked away. I would work until I physically couldn't anymore. I'd pass out, utterly exhausted. With my rigorous course choice this year, I had made myself promise that I would be productive. I had to succeed, and yet I failed to do that every single day. I struggled to stay afloat, fatigued, stressed, and strained, and I snapped as a result. And quite truthfully, I was disappointed with myself. Then, one day, I came across a video. It was a video telling me how to study better, and I was intrigued by one specific tip, the Pomodoro method. So what is it exactly? We started out by deciding on a task and estimating the amount of time that it will take you. Take, for instance, this AP World chapter outline. I estimate that it will take me 4 hours of work, give or take. Instead of thinking about the outline as 4 hours of work, I'm going to think about it in terms of 25-minute increments, or Pomodoros. So this outline would in theory take me 8 Pomodoros. The next step is to work for those 25 minutes with absolutely no distractions. Or you have and it looks like my break is over. Thank you.
So you see how the Pomodoro technique, it's just a tomato, and this was actually, the technique was coined by Francesco Cirillo, Italian, and he said this could be named after this tomato, because at those times probably the kitchen timer was in the shape of a tomato. So he called it the Pomodoro technique, or the tomato technique. So this all of us can do. We don't need a tomato for that. We can set 25 minutes. All of us today have smart watches and smartphones. We can set a 25-minute alarm and then study for 25 minutes. Take that break. Always, when you're focusing on something, that break, that 5-minute break seems a lot, it makes you so happy when you get that 5-minute break, right? So if you want to study for longer hours, okay, study for longer hours. Set a 40-minute cycle and a 10-minute break, almost the same. Or a 40-minute cycle and a 5-minute break. So after 2 40-minute cycles, take a 20-minute break. So something like that suits you. So this could be the way you could achieve your goals. Let's go to my PPT. Madam? Yeah. So, dream big, set goals. Set goals, make a plan, get to work, stick to it, and reach your goal. See, all these steps, always have a goal. Don't be goalless. Abdul Kalam said, to succeed in your mission, you must have single-minded devotion to your goal, whether it's a space mission or an ordinary, homework mission that you have. Even every mission requires that devotion to the goal, that I have to achieve it within this time. Then you will succeed. And you know what Abdul Kalam has achieved as a scientist, as a president of our country. He was one fantastic president whom all of us love, especially the student fraternity. We love Abdul Kalam because he was like a friend to most of us. Okay, he didn't preach to us. He shared his gyan, or shared his wisdom with us. So goal, and one more thing he said, dream big. So all of you set goals, dream big, and make those dreams happen. Plan. Nothing happens without a plan. So plan properly for every small dream that you have, but make it into small bits and pieces. And then put your, whenever the cricket team goes out to win, goes to, suppose, England to play a test match series, you ask them, will you come back with, or say World Cup, they're going to go play the World Cup. If you say, what is your plan? What's your goal? Are you going to win the World Cup? Virat Kohli will say, no, our first match is against New Zealand and we want to win that match. Why? He's not having a big goal. He's not planning a long-term goal. He's got a short-term goal. What is the short-term goal? To win the next match. After New Zealand, you ask him, are you now thinking of winning the World Cup? He'll say, no, our next match is with South Africa. We have to win this match. So they themselves, they cut their goals into short-term goals and take one step at a time. They plan for each step. Then you go and you will reach your long-term goal. You'll anyway achieve. If you do your short-term goals properly in a planned manner, long-term goal automatically you will achieve. So you should set your long-term goal and plan your short-term goals aiming at the long-term goal. So that's it for today. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you'll all set nice goals, not too many, just 1 or 2 good goals. Follow them and then use the Pomodoro technique while studying also. I'm sure it helps. So see you all in the next class. Bye.